Welcome to Coffee with Grant and Thomas once again. And to Thomas, today we've got a very interesting subject from a different angle. You want to take it over there, Thomas?
Yeah, Grant, we're quite excited to reverse our roles today in this discussion. And because you had a first-hand experience of a lung infection and condition that you really battled with. And what is worse, because you are a very athletic, very fit person that exercises daily. And obviously, if you battle with that, then you aren't able to train and your fitness levels come down. And that must be very frustrating for you. So I would just like to ask you to relate that story to us. Where did it start and what symptoms did you have and what did you do about it?
Yeah, you know, it actually started almost a year ago, just before the August. And I got serious sort of lung infection with a lot of phlegm, but it being the typical what athletes do, we ride through it, we're bigger, we're stronger. I went down to the August. I think I got to Chappies, and then suddenly I said, you know what, I'm in trouble. And I actually didn't race. I actually just went home. It was the slowest time I'd done in 20 years. And I said, well, you know, this is it, but I'm not going to make too much of a thing of it because everybody told me not to do it. So then I was 6 weeks again. So you can't say, hey, listen, I nearly killed myself. But everybody said, I told you, you know, when they were at my funeral, they would have said, we told them not to ride. You know? But we do.
You can't show them that you were stubborn.
No, you can't. So then I went and did the Berg 100. So that's this year from Knots to Heimville.
Yeah.
36 Ks into the race, I hit a brick wall. I actually stopped. I've never stopped in a race before, you know, and I sat down and I thought, oh, what am I going to do? So I rode all the way to Heimville, and it was like 6-7 hours it took me, because I wasn't not going to do it. But once again, that coughing, that infection, it just floored me for weeks. So we're stubborn, us athletic people. It's like crazy, But the same pattern. And every time I went to the doctor, they gave me antibiotics. And the advice was just carry on taking antibiotics till it goes. So I was on antibiotics, I was on cortisone, and lots and lots of Corenza C. So I love Corenza C. I can drink it like cold drink, but it wasn't absolutely having no effect.
Sure.
So, and every time
it must have been frustrating for you if you take all this medication, but you still don't feel better, or your energy levels are not back yet.
Yeah, they don't. And the duration. So I'm not too convinced that I didn't have a form of COVID right back in the beginning, but I didn't test it. So I'm sure it must, because it just lingered. So right up till now, when I started doing the interviews on Quatum Silver, and what's happened again, when you start training again, your immune system takes a duck and boom. But just before the night, I did the Amashova. And the Amashova, I had an incredible race. It didn't affect me, but the day after, man down again, wheezing and coughing and back to what I was. And so 3 weeks flat out down, but 94.7 coming. And on the Monday, I actually phoned my training buddy. And I said, look, I'm actually in no condition to ride. I'm not going to do it. But what happened to me with all other races, I get to a point and I've got to stop.
Sorry, Grant, just for the general public and listeners, what do you mean with a 94.7? Not everyone knows where that race is and what it is.
Yeah, so 94.7. In South Africa, you've got three major races, the Amashova, the August, and the 94.7, which is called Ride Joburg now. So those are the main events that happen in the cycling world. You know, it's like doing the Comrades or doing the Two Oceans. They must do ticks on the calendar. So you don't want to miss those, because it's all about beating the people that you need to beat to get where you go. But anyway, so the story comes now. I'm doing these interviews, and on the Monday I phoned Rob and I said, Rob, I'm not doing it. Sorry, I'm not going to put myself through that again. And I go downstairs, and my wife says to me, so have you tried Quantum Silver? So isn't that bizarre? They don't call me Doff for nothing. So I said, no, of course not. I'm too healthy to try these things. And I said, so I tried it. And I had it in the morning, I had it at lunchtime, and I had it in the afternoon, and before I went to bed. I know a little bit of an overkill, but being what we do, we tend to do that. Came the Thursday, I went for a ride. and there was no wheezing, there was no nothing. It was absolutely incredible.
So for how many days had you taken the Quantum Silver before that Thursday?
Only 4 days.
4 days.
That's it. 4 days.
Wow.
So I had a big event on the Thursday night, and I phoned Rob and said, tomorrow, pick me up, 5 o'clock in the morning, we're going to Joburg.
Wow.
And I rode the race, and I had an incredible race. I even, you can check on Strava, I've got a king of the mountains. In other words, from a 1 point to 1 point, I'm the fastest in the world.
Wow.
Which I don't know if you could say it was Quantum.Silver or me, but isn't that just amazing?
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. Yeah.
After the race, was I sick? No. Which is, so I'd broken the pattern. Because the pattern was race, die, because your immune system takes a crash. So I took nothing else except this. So that's the story. But I was too stupid to even know to use the same stuff I've been interviewing people about. Somebody had to tell me, hey, listen, Grant, use it.
Just elaborate a bit on that world record that you now have.
So
how is it monitored, and how do
it's quite interesting because
know about it?
all of us in our world, what we do is we got Strava. It's our training program. And on that Strava, you would have segments in a particular race, like a thing like the 94.7, you'd have about, I don't know, 50 segments. So from Hillbrow all the way through to Killarney was one segment, 27 kilometers. And I averaged something stupid like 45.9 kilometers an hour. But, there's another side to the story. I was in a group and I accelerated. But the incredible thing is that I kept with the group. Because that is the trick, is to actually stay with the group in the process of cycling, is otherwise you just get dropped. So at some point in that race, I was the fastest in the world. And I still am, by the way. They queried the record on Strava, it went up and it's back again. It's officially, so I get my little trophy on Strava.
Oh, fantastic.
King of the mountain.
That is so great. And when was this race? How long ago, more or less?
This is now end of 3 weeks ago now. 2 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. Because I must say, you look very bright and full of energy and full of life.
100% back into training.
Did you say no crash after that?
No crash.
Your lungs are still open, healthy?
No, absolutely 100%. This morning I was out swimming, did my 2 kilometers on every Friday. I meet a buddy of mine, and it was like I haven't been sick. So my immune system didn't crash for the first time, and it feels like years and years.
That is really so great news. We're very proud of you, having a record holder here, a world record holder. That is really fantastic. But what is greater news is that you feel healthy, that there's no more strain, no wheezing, your lungs are open and restored. Fantastic.
And it was bad. It was wheezing. Live nights, and you could hear a squeak coming out of the. It was crazy. It would actually wake me up, the wheeze. So I suppose what maybe happened in your case is that whatever medication you were on and vitamins, etc., that it suppressed the infection, but it didn't cure you. And that's why it kept on coming back. And once you started training, there's stress on the body, then obviously the infection flared up again. So now it sounds if it's 3 weeks ago and hasn't come back, that's really good news, because it would have come back if it wouldn't be dealt with. So the Quantum.Silver is very effective to kill that virus or a secondary bacteria, whatever infection you were dealing with, so that your body can totally get healed. 100%. And it would have happened the next day. I would have been man down.
No, fantastic. And I think there's such an encouragement for many athletes, not only people that ride bikes, but also people that run or mountaineering, whatever sports they're engaged with, to know that there is help, and it actually works so quickly if you dose it correctly. And don't be scared, rather overdose than underdose, because underdosing doesn't help.
I did overdose, I'm sure. I had that sample bottle that you gave me, and it is no longer.
Okay, well, that's good news, because it did its job.
It did,
and the good news also is that if you drink more than the standard recommendation, you will probably get a quicker response, and there's no side effect. There's no danger in it. It's extremely safe, our product.
Yeah.
So
the one thing, I put it into the fridge because the colder version just appealed to me. It doesn't change it anyway. What's the recommended storage?
Yeah. The recommended storage is just for convenience to keep it at room temperature and out of sunlight, but you can drink it cold as a cold water. Or at room temperature. It doesn't matter, because of the active ingredient, which is very stable. It is not changed with temperature.
Yeah, I was questioned, why is it in the fridge? Aren't you changing? And I said, I don't know, I better. So it doesn't change as long as you don't freeze it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. 100%. Thank you so much for sharing that. And as I say, your story will be encouragement to so many athletes and sports people.
Yeah.
To help them have more energy and get healthy and be out there. Thank you.
It does that. So you got to say thank you for joining me on Coffee with Grant. Thank you for joining me on Coffee with Thomas today.
Yeah.
So Thomas, have you got your mug yet?
No, not yet. No.
It's in the post.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
But anyway, Tom, this was interesting. Reverse roles. And Thomas, thank you very much for interviewing me on Coffee with Grant. Until the next time.
It's only a pleasure. Until next time. Yeah. Thank you.
Cheers, Thomas. Can you see that?
Yeah, 28.4 and 46.
So that being on the top there says King of the Mountain.
Yeah.
You see, so that's a screenshot. That's there to stay. So anybody can beat it now. So it's 45.2 kilometers an hour for 28.46 kilometers. That's quite a mean average, eh?
That's mean.
With a top speed of 72 k's an hour.